Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, inside the Chillicothe Sports Card Studio, this is Bad Company, SOSA production presented by the Driving Authority, Hometown Chevrolet, and Chillicothe Truck. Welcome back, everyone. I am your co-host, Brock Nutter, alongside my guy, Derrick Webb, right here. And Derrick, it's been a long time since we've done this. It's like 7 or 8 weeks.
We've got a new studio. We've got a new studio to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have changed since the last time that we have came to you guys with the show. We're no longer in our old studio. We have our own place now, own studio. There's so many things happening. Our own building, the dugout, just fantastic things that we have really been working on and really hitting the grindstone about over the past 2 months or so. And this show has kind of it's taken a small bit of a back seat. Yeah. But now that we finally have time and kind of that we also have an understanding of what all goes into this, we are back.
I mean, well, and I think that you look at we had to move our studio, so we brought our studio here to our location now, and obviously we can't do shows without a studio. And then now our guy John Bruce, who's on Overtime, presented by Perfection One, and he would slap me if I didn't say that. And then on the Coach's Collins show, the Haynes presented by Haynes Total Healthcare Center, he would ask us, well, we've done 2 or 3 shows since we've had the studio back. I mean, you can't use that as an excuse. And I would tell him, well, Brock and I don't actually like being on camera like you do, John. We're not as pretty as you are. So it's a mix between the two, right? We don't like to be on camera.
A little bit.
And, the studio, it's new.
That's true. That's true. Although I will say, I don't think it's that we don't like to not be on camera. I think it's just that we've just been really busy, and a lot of things have happened. To be fair,
well, you got to remember the last time that we did an episode, we had Clay Beeler on, Huntington's head football coach, and that was just when the district coach of the year, well, the all district football teams, I should say, came out. We still had a lot of the playoff football left. We had I almost said Ironton. We had Wheelersburg go to the state championship. I almost said Ironton because their fans commented just as much on Wheelersburg stuff as Wheelersburg's did.
That is
it's just
point.
A fact.
That is
but
true.
what a rivalry that is. You got to go to Canton with Ray Gleedle, and I hope I'm saying his last name right. I've never asked him.
I never have
I just
either.
say, "What's up, Ray?"
Shout out Raymond, though.
Yeah, man, he's such a good photographer. The crazy thing I think SOSA fans don't know about Ray is that he's a senior in high school.
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of photographers and a lot of very talented photographers. Ray, man, he's at the top.
He's got an eye.
Well, you have it or you don't. And Ray has it.
That's true.
And then, of course, Morgan Wilbanks was there as well, who's done some video work for us, and I think he's going to do some future video work for us. We've been busy. We did that, and then, of course, Thanksgiving and Christmas, that whole season, and we've got basketball kicked off. We're in full swing with basketball. Usually in a podcast, you have a hey, we're going to talk about this. We don't have that today.
We don't.
We just kind of came in and said, hey, let's just talk, right?
Pretty much.
Because we needed an episode. So we're kind of winging it. We're going from the hip. And, I will ask you this, Brock. Have you ever done, a post-game interview knowingly with the questions beforehand?
100% I have.
I have not.
100% I have.
I go into it and wing it every time.
It's
probably not good.
Probably not, but the results always speak for themselves.
Yeah, they line up.
And I think the beautiful thing about that is that no one hears our voices. No one hears our voices.
You mean the post-game?
Yes,
correct.
You
mean like the video interviews? Yeah. I'm even talking about with like coaches. I'm like just shooting from the hip there too.
Sometimes I know what I'm going to ask. I always know what my first question or kind of opening salvo.
I don't know that I do.
Might be. I do. I always know what it is. It's literally just, hey coach, give me a few comments about how you felt, the guys or girls, whichever game.
I mean, a lot of times it's like, what's up? How's the family? But I don't know that I've actually been like in the hallway thinking, okay, I got to ask him about this, I got to ask her about that. It's just kind of, hey coach, what's up? And then honestly, sometimes they just kind of volunteer the information. You're like, all right, we'll go from here.
A lot of times. I mean, I know what happened in the game. I watched the flow of the game. I know who had a big night, who didn't.
Right.
But who still made their contributions.
True.
There's certain bullet points that I make sure that I hit.
Right.
But there's also times where I've finished. I've left the gym. I'm in my car making the video, and I automatically think to myself, crap, I forgot to ask her that.
And then you just text. Say, hey, by the way.
Sometimes yes. Other times I'm just like, you know what? I'll figure it out somehow, some way. Maybe it'll just have no quote, or maybe it's just a part that I put in, and I'm like, you know what? Let me highlight this part. She did this, or he did this. Just kind of sprinkle it in. Just routinely throughout the story, and I'm like, all right, well,
and so far this podcast has been a seminar on how to ask questions post game.
Pretty much.
That was not the plan. No, but I ask you that because I want to address and again, Brock has no idea. Or I have no idea what you're going to say. You have no idea what I'm going to say.
No, not a clue.
But I do want to address. You had a post game interview with Chillicothe coach Pat Beard. A couple days ago now. About Coach Gary Kello, who we're very fond of, and we like Coach K, and I can't tell you the amount of interviews I've had with Coach K over the years, and he's always very pleasant, always just really cool to talk to because he's a legend. I mean, he was my first interview with Coach K was in high school. I was a sophomore in Chillicothe High School's journalism class, and he was leading our basketball team to the state final and eventually championship that year. And I got to sit in on a couple of practices with that team. Was able to ask him about the team, what was so special about it. But for those of you that don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you that they do, he had a medical incident. The Chillicothe game on December 27th, which was again a couple of days ago from now, and. Obviously our thoughts and prayers are with him. I think he's recovered. I think he's recovering, and he's back to the old, spunky guy that we know and love. But I want to ask you that in a post-game interview like that. Yeah. First of all, I felt like our team, our broadcast team, Carson Francis and Shane Combs, and then Kenneth Hay behind the camera, really handled it with grace. And they did a good job of respecting Coach K and not naming names until we didn't feel like it was our place. I should say. I don't want to speak for them, but I kind of can because I've talked to them and. But you had that's probably a tough interview. Kind of talk about that post game interview with Coach Beard.
Man, it was definitely definitely different because on one hand yes, you want to address what happened, but also on the other hand, my outlook was also okay. This wasn't part of the game,
right?
And at the end of the day, I'm writing about the game, but you can't not highlight what happened.
Well, because at the end, it was a part of the game.
Sure. Yeah, 100% it was. So yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was a slippery slope in any way, shape, or form, but I was very cognizant about how many questions or whatever I asked was kind of geared towards the incident because when it was all said and done, the incident was not the final outcome.
Right.
The game was the final outcome. So you're kind of navigating those waters about okay, how do you kind of attack what happened but keep it centered around the game.
Right.
Pat was emotional. Not overly emotional because he was still in the moment, still trying to be strong for his players. Because when everything happened, the players were
emotional.
Understandably, they were emotional. They were distraught. There were so many questions that they had, so many emotions that were going through. They went into halftime filled with tears in their eyes running down their faces. They came out of halftime the exact same way.
Well, and then what a moment.
Yeah.
Going into their locker room with Yoda, their players coming over with the gesture to kind of pray and just let them know, hey, I know there's a game on the floor.
Yeah.
But we're here for you if you need it. And I think a lot of those players also knew Coach K.
Yeah.
Some of them played against him before, and Coach K's Coach K.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, it was. It it was tough in the moment, and he did his absolute best to keep it to hold his emotions together. I actually ran into him yesterday. Okay, for full transparency, today is Monday,
right,
December the 29th. This is the day that we're shooting this. So I ran into him on Sunday, and talked with him for about a half hour, and he told me just some intricacies that happened, that kind of led up to the events, how he spotted it, the things that transpired a few seconds beforehand, a few seconds afterhand. It's one of the rare positions you find yourself in where you have to be the strong one. And you have to be, and you're not only being strong for just yourself, maybe for your your immediate family. You're being strong for a team and a program that is.
And Pat recognized that.
Yeah. He recognized his responsibility in that moment. He handled everything so quickly, so diligently, and I mean honestly, if it wasn't for Pat reacting within probably those 3 to 5 seconds,
you can see that on stream.
Yeah, within those 3 to 5 seconds, who knows what could have happened? But his quick thinking. His loud voice also, simply just because it echoed throughout the building.
Yep.
And I mean, even with him saying timeout, you could tell this wasn't just
a timeout.
It wasn't just timeout. We're struggling. We need a minute to regroup. This is literal life or death in this moment. And you could tell just by the tone and the sense of urgency in his voice. It was. It was scary.
I think it was scary for people in attendance. Like I said, I watched it at home. We had my wife's Christmas. Our wife. We share a wife. Anyways, I don't even. My wife's family had their Christmas on Saturday.
Ring on my finger, it's
and,
just yours.
That's true. We'll have to ask Jenny about that. She can get you one, right?
She could.
But I've got like a pack of these. They were like, I don't know, $12 for 7 because I lost my original one, so I could just hand you one.
That's true.
You can have the kids.
To be fair, first of all, I love my nieces and nephews.
I love them too. I mean, they're my kids, but like you can have them.
That's fine.
A couple days, be cool to go. We take a vacation.
I mean, I'll say this at your wedding, which by the way, I don't know how exactly we got here, but I might as well go ahead and finish my thought.
Remember, we don't have any topic to discuss.
So here we go. We're going from Coach K.
Yeah.
And that moment to now us going here. I mean, to be fair, since you said our wife,
Coach K would appreciate that.
Probably so. I did say at your wedding in the toast that I gave, I said, Jenny, I love you. Thank you for making my best friend happy.
Yep.
And ultimately, in the end, you may have gotten the ring, but I was always his first choice.
That's true. That's always that. Well, I've known you longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tiebreaker.
Those are words
and I like
verbatim that I said.
So, sometimes, right? Sometimes, Jenny. She won't watch this anyway.
That's probably true.
Somebody will tell her about it. Did you say this? Yeah. She's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I knew that already.
That's true.
But yeah, we were at my wife's family's Christmas, and so I got to watch it on stream, and you see it on stream, and you're just like, well, what you saw on stream was a bunch of sheriff's officers just go over, and then I was able to rewind it back. We've scrubbed that part from the video because there's no reason anybody needs to see that.
Correct.
But when I was rewinding it back because I didn't know what happened, and I'm sure there were more people that did that, and then I realized what had happened, and it was just kind of it was an eerie moment, where you don't know what's going to happen next, and I was really, like I said, I'm very fond of Coach K, and he's been a long time friend of mine, I would call him, and just was very worried about him in the moment. His family, he's got a great family around him, and so many supporters. And one of the guys at SOSA said that I've never seen so many people run to somebody's side that quickly. And if that doesn't tell you the impact he's had on our community, not just Chillicothe's community, but Unyota's community as well.
Yep.
And the Zane Trace communities as well. I mean, I'm sure there was some in attendance, and just on SVC basketball and just local basketball. I don't know what will. So
yeah, thankfully, from that incident, took about maybe 8 seconds, if even that.
Yeah.
8 seconds between someone recognizing what was happening to working on him
Yep.
to him sitting up and saying, okay, whew.
And you were at the game, and so and again, I don't want to go into too many details, but they had to administer CPR.
Yeah.
And it was Matt Joannicorn?
Matt Joannicorn and Matt Park.
And I know there's others that I'm sure helped.
100%.
But those were the first two names that we were given, and I mean, what a job. Was it Ty Park? I think it was Ty Park.
No, it was Matt.
It was Matt Park.
It was
okay,
Matt, yeah.
We know Ty Park well too.
Yeah, we do. Shout out Ty, real good guy.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, just an amazing response on their end, and you don't understand that moment until that moment happens. Mm-hmm. So we're happy to hear that Coach K is doing better. We've had a lot of good moments with Coach K. What's your favorite Coach K moment?
Oh my gosh!
Any meeting with Matt Hoops? No, I mean, I used to write, and when I worked at the Chillicothe Gazette, I used to write, and I said, this was in a column. I don't care if Gary Kello and Matt Hoops are playing tiddlywinks. I want to go watch. I want to
see it. It doesn't matter.
It's a fact.
The competitive nature. Yeah.
But Matt would tell you too.
True.
How much of an impact that he's had.
Yeah.
But yes, favorite Gary Kello moment.
Favorite Gary Kello moment. I think there's two.
Okay.
I think there's two that I have. One is his return to coaching.
Yeah, that's true.
So when he got rehired at Zane Trace, I believe this was 2017. You had just left to go to Illinois.
Okay.
And I was in Coshocton, and I remember that Henry Conti. Shout out Henry, by the way. He's
an OG.
Yeah, he was my boss, and he called me, and he said, "Hey, Brock, I know that you have ties with the Chillicothe community. You're from there." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I just got news that Gary Kello got rehired at Zane Trace." I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's fantastic. That's wonderful." He said, "Yeah, I need you to write the story on his rehiring." I said, "Okay, cool. I can do that. No problem." I don't remember how I got his number. Don't remember who gave it to me, but I just remember that I was on.
Probably me.
It might have been. It might have been at that time, for all I know. But I remember that I called him, and he answered the phone. And I said, "Hey, Coach, this is Brock Netter from the Coshocton Tribune." And he said, "Hey, Brock, how are you?" I said, "I'm doing good, Coach. I heard that you're coming home." And he said, "Yeah, I'm coming home." He said it's been a long time, but it's time for me to go back home, and I'm excited to be back on Zane Trace's sideline, leading this basketball program again. What was supposed to be, I should say what I thought was going to be probably, a 7-minute talk.
Right.
47 minutes later.
Yep, that sounds. Yep. Oh yeah.
47 minutes later. I was still talking to him.
Yep.
But 47 minutes later was officially when I hit.
Well, you're probably
stop
enjoying
recording.
though.
100%.
It's one of those guys that you like talking to, and you know how it is. You talk to some guys, me, late at night, and and you're like, God, well, he just shut up.
I've never ever thought that, just to be fair.
I don't believe that. I thought that. Well, I just shut up, But Coach K is one of those guys that you can talk to for like an hour or 2 hours, and after a game where you've got a deadline, because I've done that, and it's like that was so cool, because you feel like you're in.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in the presence of a basketball great in our area. I mean, I feel like he's our generation's Larry Jordan.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. 100%.
And I mean, we grew up with him. We were in high school with him when he took Humpty and Ray and Caleb and Seth and Stu and Ron Smith. I don't want to forget anybody because they'll message me and tell me I forgot
Alex,
them.
Greg, James.
They took all those guys to the state and they took us with them.
Sure did.
And Coach K did that, and so there's a lot of people in our community that thinks that Manhattan Memorial Gymnasium, it should be called Gary Kello Court.
It should.
Now I didn't get to see Don Cup Coach.
Yeah.
And it's called
Tom Cup.
Tom Cup. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know what his name is. But
do your research. Come on.
Yeah, man. I know. Well, I'm thinking of Coach K.
I mean, I get it.
But biasly, I kind of agree with that.
100%.
You know,
100%.
Well, how many state championships does Chillicothe have? People are going to watch this. They're like, they don't know their history. Like, but at the same time, again, we're biased, saying it biasly.
One state title, as far as I know.
As far as I know, yeah.
No. 2 state titles. 2 state titles.
Boys basketball team.
And boys basketball.
So he did his research.
Yes.
Didn't even know he was going to do his research.
Yes. Boys basketball. 1930.
That don't count.
Hey.
Doesn't count.
1930 and 2008.
See, all those people now that are on the 1930 team are like, what do you mean it doesn't count? Get off my lawn.
They're not listening. Well, they are. Just,
From heaven? Is that what? I mean, goodness gracious.
19
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. That's 100 years ago.
Exactly.
And they had to be 17 or 18 at the time.
They'd be 120 right now.
Doesn't count. Just one. That's how that works.
That was not the point. The point was that it was 1930 and 2008.
If you're wrong on 1930, people are gonna tell you, hey.
The only reason I remember this is because I rewatched the broadcast a while ago, of
the state title game.
I got the state title game, and the announcer said, "And the Chillicothe Cavaliers are state champions for the first time in 78 years."
Yeah.
And I was like, 78 years. Well, okay.
Were you in the student section that day?
I was in the student section that day.
That was sweet.
Yep, it was awesome.
Such a sweet game.
You can't miss me. I'm jumping up and down like I have no self-control.
Somebody did a broadcast of the game, and if you remember it, they were down double digits.
Yeah.
In the third or fourth quarter?
Third quarter, it was 45-29. I remember it.
You see me in the student section.
Oh, really?
And I'm doing this. And the announcer says something like, and that's, the feeling that all the Chillicothe get, or whatever they said. And then, of course, they come back and win.
So you were the original meme. You just didn't know it.
I didn't have the surrender cobra. But yeah, I was the original, like, all right, let's get this over with,
we all thought that in that moment.
Well,
we all did.
It was just such an incredible ride there. And then to win in that fashion.
Oh, my God.
And this game's been talked about so many times, but I would like to say somebody said that Chillicothe Uniota game was the best game that they've ever seen. They may have not been at many basketball games.
Probably not.
Especially because they were comparing it to the state championship game. I can't remember who said that, but come on, fellas. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It was a great atmosphere.
Oh, it was great.
Fantastic atmosphere.
So should they play that every year?
Yes, 100%.
Every year. I agree.
Unquestionably. The thing that makes Chillicothe Uniota so I don't know what the word is for. Yeah, I guess maybe that's the best word for it. What makes it so intriguing is that, and I mean, this was something that I told Pat a couple days ago too, is that most rivalries, they're conference rivalries.
True.
So therefore, you see each other twice a year, no matter what, in every single sport. And you want those bragging rights, but you only get them for 1 year.
Yeah.
When Chillicothe Uniota played on Saturday, that was the first time since 2017.
It had been seven or 8 years, yeah.
That they had played. So therefore, you have all this anticipation. You have all of this these years of waiting, and you finally get it. And there's just so much hype that's brought into it.
Yep.
Everyone is there ridiculous early, which I love the Chillicothe community. I love my community for that. However, showing up 3 hours beforehand.
What are you going to do? You can't get a seat.
I mean,
that's why they showed up.
I know that I have my seat. I know that.
Yeah.
But we got to figure something out.
I mean, and that was where I was leading to is, I mean, yes, it should be an every year game.
Yes. It should be an every year.
It should be an every year game in football.
It should be.
I'm just saying.
I know it won't be for X, Y, and Z reason.
None of our business, but I still think that it would be such a great game for. And you talk about Gates and
exactly.
I think both communities win there, and I know people will disagree with that, and I think John Bruce disagrees with that.
I don't know why.
Well, John has told me, before, and he has his reasons, and they do make sense. But I do think that it just makes more sense to let's pencil these guys in and. Let's line up and see who's better, and then we don't have to wonder. Fans, journalists, whatever. I think it just be a good game all around, and I think also that basketball game that just played on Saturday, you also see they have a mutual respect towards each other as well.
100%.
And back when we were in school, we didn't have a lot of respect for each other, and I think it's gotten better since then. And
It was a lot different, to be fair.
well, I think it was a different world.
That too.
And
That too.
now kids I went to Chillicothe. I didn't hang out with anybody when I was in high school from the SVC.
That
and
is a
now
good
everybody
point.
hangs out with everybody,
Yep.
and that's awesome. That's so cool. That community. We kind of stuck to our own cliques, and if you were
true.
going to Chillicothe, you hung out with people from Chillicothe. And I do like how it's blended now, and where everybody knows everybody, and it makes those games more interesting. But a lot of people have said that game needs to be moved to OUC.
It does. In 2027.
But
that game does.
exactly, I think you're right in 2027
Yes.
because UNIOTA's got to go to the hat.
100%.
They got to go to the hat.
There's no way Chillicothe would give up that game.
They shouldn't.
No, absolutely not.
They've got bragging rights, and listen, we came to your place, and you want to beat us, come to our place.
Yep, come on over.
After that, if it's not at OUC for whatever their reasons might be, a bigger venue would be somewhere, and I don't think it matters where that game is. People are going to go and they're going to watch that game.
Yep, 100%.
So I just don't want it to be like UNIOTA versus Chillicothe at Logan.
True. True.
Let's save that for tournament.
Nothing against Logan.
No, they're great
fantastic
facility. Love going to
However,
Logan.
for two teams that are 2 miles apart,
Right.
I don't want to drive an hour.
Go to OUC.
Exactly. No different than last year when Portsmouth and Minford girls in the regional final.
Yeah, I went to
had
Logan.
To go all the way to
Yep.
Logan. I'm like, they're separated by like 10 miles.
I went to that game. Yeah.
Like call Valley and say, hey, can we run this or not?
And Lucas will be like, absolutely.
Yeah, do that or call Shawnee State. They weren't playing at the time.
True.
Call them. Well, actually, maybe not call Shawnee State. Their gym's kind of small. Nothing against Shawnee State.
Yeah,
Love
they
you
got the
guys.
one side of bleachers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the one side. So, yeah, Valley probably would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, I know that game is a huge building in our area, and it was such a good game. Well, before what happened, and then it continued to be a good game afterwards. So I mean, just kudos to everybody involved, players, coaches, fans. I thought even both fan bases were very respectful before it happened.
Even
both
beforehand.
student sections were awesome.
Yep.
You don't see that a lot in today's times.
I definitely thought someone was getting thrown out. I didn't know who.
and nobody did.
No one did.
I have not seen an ejection yet this year.
I have not either. Let's.
Sometimes I like to see it, because some fans deserve it.
I don't disagree with you.
I've got a theory, and our referee fans will love this,
Okay.
that people work all week long,
Yes.
and then on Friday, they're mad because they've worked all week long. They're
they
like,
worked
you know
all
what
week
we're going to do?
We're gonna
Go
out
yell at the
on
referees at the
this
high school
guy
basketball
who's
game.
probably done the exact same thing
100%.
that we have. The only difference is we just have the free reign to get it out.
Right.
And he or she can't really say anything back.
I mean, they can.
I mean, yeah,
I
they
could never
can.
be a referee. I would.
Oh no, I couldn't.
I would just be like, do you want to put this? Come on. You can have my shirt. You call the game.
Here we go.
Right.
You want it?
But we've got great referees in this area, and I mean, they do a great job. I can't imagine being a referee. They take a beating every single time they're on the court,
Yep.
no matter what if they're good or they're bad.
Yep.
Somebody thinks they're good or somebody thinks they're bad, and just a thankless job. I would call that, but they do a good job, and our student athletes, they can't play basketball without referees.
True.
I saw that somebody had posted something, and they had said, "This is why we're having a shortage on referees," and
Yep.
it's like, just go to the game, shut up.
it.
I know you disagree with calls. It's okay to cheer. It's okay to yell, but don't make it personal. Don't turn it into something that it's not.
I've always said
This is becoming an opinion
It
show.
really is. I've always said that nothing brings out more raw emotion than high school sports.
You have.
For some reason, I don't know what it is. There's just something about high school sports that just brings out the most raw emotion in anyone, whether you have a child playing, a grandchild, or whether you just went to that school. There's just something about just that connection. It just brings everything out in you.
Yep. You're right.
For reasons unknown, and sometimes it leads to feisty moments. It leads to ejections. What's the best ejection you've ever seen?
Oh, there's a middle finger involved. It was that's an easy one for me
because I have a doozy of a story.
It was I was covering Portsmouth West at Southeastern's Girls. It was a tournament game,
okay.
And a grandma from Portsmouth West gets up, and she'd been yelling all game, and the referees, they had taken it, you know, and they're like, well, she's a grandma, like we'll let her, I think that was kind of the consensus, and she must have said something, and she gets tossed. They stop the game, and she comes about 2 steps down and just boom, and the referee was kind of laughing. I can't remember even who the referee was that night, but Doug Heiss at Southeastern Coast, he was kind of laughing, which made me laugh on the baseline, and so something happened where the referee said something to the woman, and then her husband then started, you're not going to talk to my wife that way, and then gave him a second finger. So that was probably my favorite ejection.
Oh God,
because
that's funny.
Again, it's just and I'm not saying don't go don't cheer for your grandkid. Absolutely build them up and go and support them.
Yeah.
But the referee probably didn't deserve a couple fingers. He was a tournament referee, so I'm assuming he wasn't probably, from either.
Probably not.
And honestly, and you'll know, talk to any referee, they don't care who wins.
No.
They don't have any dog in the fight. And I promise you that night, that man had no dog in the fight, but he got 2 fingers.
He got 2 fingers.
So yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
I tweeted out one time about, I don't know, it was like, hey, game 1, and I'm already here, and you're terrible. That's my favorite phrase. You're terrible.
Yeah.
And that's the definition of over in the back, because there is no definition of over the back.
No, there's one more you're forgetting.
Okay, what's that?
Call it both ways.
Oh yeah, call it when it's like 5-5. Yeah, it's like 3-3 and fouls or 3-2. Yeah, you're right. I hope our referee friends watch this, because we get just as annoyed as you do.
Yes, we do. 100%.
So I told my story.
Yeah. So okay. So this would have been 2018. I was in Illinois. Full context. And
are they crazy over there? I didn't get to see basketball.
Nah, not really.
Okay,
not really.
All right.
So I was covering tournament soccer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
It was tournament soccer, and I was covering. I want to say it was Manuka and Bradley Bourbonnais. Bradley Bourbonnais was the team I was covering that day.
You were there at home?
Yeah, they were at home. It was 1:00, middle of the day. Not nice. I was like, okay, cool, we're good. Had a hoodie on, was like comfortable. Here we go. Game's going, and there's someone in the stands.
Why was what you were wearing had anything to do with it? I didn't tell what I was wearing during my story. Did I get that chance?
I just remember. Oh, I remember every detail about this. So, so there's some parent or fan, whichever one the case may be. He was just going on and on about that's all sides. You gotta call that. Just going on and on and I mean, he had been going on for about 70 minutes.
Jeez,
he had been going on, and to the referee's credit, they were letting the game play out as it does, not paying any attention to the fans. But I can't remember what the guy said. I can't remember, and I really wish I did. But the referee stopped the game, and he looked at the fan and said, You're out of here. I'm like, oh, okay, we got an ejection.
Well, you're probably like, it's about time.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, cool, we got an ejection. I'm just walking up and down, the field. The ref looks at me, and he points at me. He says, "Hey, you, get him out of here." He looks at me, and
so that's why you said you were wearing a hoodie. Okay, I got you.
So I'm looking around. I'm like,
me?
Like you looking at me? It's like, yeah, you. And I'm like, me? Like, why me? Why me? I had my press badge on.
Oh, I got you. He probably thought it was security.
He thought I was police.
Yeah.
And he looked at me. He said, "Well, you're police, aren't you?" I said, "I'm a high school reporter. My guy." He's like, "Oh." Well, either way, you're right.
Well, you gave that guy a couple extra minutes to yell. That's what it was.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And for the next 2 weeks, I had Bradley Bourbonnais students. I had everyone saying, "Hey, you're security, aren't you today? Like, you're running security for us, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so. I guess I'm running security."
Yeah, if somebody gets thrown out, I got you. Well,
yeah, that made me laugh.
You know, the main reason that we wanted to have an episode was to obviously have an episode, but you know, obviously our hearts and when you have no topic,
yeah,
and that's kind of what we wanted, shoot from the hip. You know, you know, I think both of our hearts are with Coach K, and you know what's going on with him and his family, and we're thinking about him, we're praying for him. We hope that you know, full recovery, and we see him on the basketball, you know, court soon where he belongs.
For sure, for sure.
But I do want to mention. You mentioned, you know, a new studio. This is our Chillicothe Sports Card studio, and brand new space here. And you know, we got some big things coming. We've got you know, SOSA Collectibles is live. If you want to, you know, find that on Facebook, find that on Twitter, and I think Caleb started Caleb Wickline started or Caleb Cox, I should say, started an Instagram page.
Whatever his last name is at this point.
Yeah, it's Caleb. It's Caleb Dust. It's our guy.
Shout out to you, Caleb.
You can find stuff like this. I brought this in. It's a hanger of, I don't know, 2025 Topps update. So we did a break for those, our first stream. But we've sold some baseball singles. We've got some football singles. We're doing some cool things there to. You know, where it kind of hits my heart. That's what I do a lot as my own hobby. So if you got any questions about the collectibles, let us know. And then the dugout. It's still in progress, but it's going to be ready soon.
Very soon. And we are so excited about it. So excited. Just you know the amount of technology that's going to be here.
Yeah.
Just the ability you know, for those who love baseball and softball, those who play, those who are, you know, getting into the sport, you know, for little leagues, high school, middle school, whatever the case may be. Like, come in here, get your swings in, have some fun, get practice done. There's just so many things.
We want to make it their home.
Yeah, 100%.
There's going to be nothing like it in Chillicothe in the area. That's our goal. But we've got some big plans. We've got some coaches coming in for clinics. We've got some high school players, some of the, you know, the better players that we cover coming in and teaching some of the younger kids. So a lot of opportunity for a lot of folks to be a lot better. You know, is what I'm thinking, and that should be, you know, up and running by the first of the year, or maybe not the first of the year, but close to that. And then, of course, obviously, you know, always tune into SOSA Overtime, to the Coach's Collins show. Overtime, obviously, with our buddy Shane Combs and John Bruce. And then the Collins show with John Bruce and Matt Hoops or Nick Barrows or Jeff Miller during the fall.
Yeah.
I'm sitting where Matt is tonight, so it's about time somebody good-looking sits here. You're sitting where John is. We can say the same.
Hey.
So you know
I don't know how this works.
Well, you don't have any gray in your beard.
Oh, yes, I do. You just can't see it. Trust me. Yes, I do.
Our cameras aren't that high tech. I got you. Well, Brock, take us out. Hopefully we can do this more often. Now grounded, you know, with a new studio and some extra time that's not the fall sports season.
We're going to have a lot of fun. BaD Company is back. Thank you all once again for tuning in to the latest episode of BaD Company, once again presented by the Driving Authority, Hometown Chevrolet, and Chillicothe Truck. For Brock Netter, he is Derrick Webb. Thank you all again. We'll see you soon.